Hey guys, welcome to the channel and to part 3 of this series I call How to Arcane. In this episode I'm going to talk to you about dominating your opponent, starting with playstyle, all the tools at your disposal including consumables, and ending with some examples and tips. I find Arcane to be the most versatile class of all. There's a wide range of weapons and tools that you can choose from which can suit any playstyle, whether you fight at short range, medium range or long range. And any weapon with straight physical damage can be converted into an S-scaling elemental weapon with fantastic returns right up to 99 arcane. Understanding how you play, how the weapon you use performs, and which tools you'll incorporate into your build will help you in deciding on the amount of points to invest into Arcane. At 15 Arcane, you have access to a number of tools including the empty phantasm shell and the old hunter bone. These self-buff tools and self-buff consumables are ideal for short-range, toe-to-toe melee fighters who delight in trading hits or using hit-and-run tactics. At 30, you can use everything apart from a core beyond, which requires 40 arcane to use. Many of the ranged hunter tools and thrown consumables will suit a medium-range playstyle, someone who relies on either a firearm or spells to keep their opponents at bay whilst punishing them from afar. Medium-range players don't shy away from combat either though, but prefer to bait you into attacking them rather than taking the fight to you. This way they can attempt to quickly end the fight with a charge attack or a visceral attack. A long-ranged playstyle will make heavy use of hunter tools, a core beyond, the gloves and the black sky eye in particular. Simon's bowblade is an ideal accompaniment to this style of play, particularly if you equip striking gems to it. Whether you're a build that favours hard-hitting strength weapons or nimble, quick, skill-based weapons, the hunter tools are bound to add an additional element into your playstyle. But first you need to understand the limits of these tools and the weapons you can choose in order to use them effectively together. Pure arcane builds shine when you mix things up with attacks, tools and consumables, forcing your opponent to always keep their guard up, to keep guessing, and just waiting for them to make a mistake and then punishing them severely. Let's take a look at some of the hunter tools or spells. The tools that you can use at 15 arcane include the old hunter bone. This hastens you for a limited period. The beast roar, which can deflect missiles. The empty phantasm shell, which buffs a physical attack weapon only with arcane. The messenger's gift, which lets you disguise yourself as a messenger, and the choir bell, which heals you and your party of up to 1,200 hit points at 99 arcane. Past 15 and you can use the black sky eye, which is a short, medium, long ranged weapon, economically the best spell for damage output per bullet. The augur of Ebrietas, which is a short range spell and can riposte. The Executioner's Gloves, which are short to medium range and have excellent tracking. The Tiny Tonitrus, which is a short, medium and long range spell and can damage multiple enemies in a straight line. The Accursed Brew, which is mainly a short range area of effect spell. And a Core Beyond, which is mainly medium to long range area of effect but can also be used at short range. Some of the consumables that we use include Molotovs, which are probably the best consumables available, and my favourite being the rope Molotovs. Used correctly and cleverly, you can catch many people off guard with them and sucker them into following you only to be rained upon by fire. Killing someone in PvP with a Molotov is a glorious thing indeed. Although difficult to hit with, oil urns are a fantastic warm-up to setting someone on fire with either a Molotov, a fire-infused weapon, or the flame spray. Bone Marrow Ash is not just for try-hard Evelyn Gum spammers, but can double the damage output on both the Flame Spray and the Ross Marinus. I tend to use it sparingly, only in the face of tryhards who need a proper beating. The Beast Blood Pellets give you an added advantage when set upon or forced to go toe-to-toe. They're very useful with the Rite of Palash or the closed version of the Cane. Lead elixirs are great when set upon by filthy ganking casuals who also deserve a spanking. Otherwise numbing mist, which is good for those constant healers. It is however difficult to hit with. Knives are good depending on your playstyle, bearing in mind they do not scale with Arcane. So the big question is pistol, shield or spray. For a full Arcane build, I favour the Rite of Palash over a pistol, leaving both slots on the other arm free to carry the Flame Spray and the Ross Marinus, which I have dubbed my teapot. For melee builds, I'll choose the one to complement the weapons I'm carrying. For example, if my two main weapons, one being lightning and the other one being fire, I will carry the Ross Marinus. If the other is arcane, I will carry the Flame Spray. This way, I'll always have all my elements covered in the event I run upon someone wearing Henrik's set, the Charred Hunter set, or any church gear. As an arcane build, you need to know which armor sets are vulnerable to which element. Anytime you face a Canehurst Knight, for example, you should know to immediately use lightning. Okay, enough talk about tools at your disposal. Let's move on to actually dominating your opponent. Number 1. Always set your hot boxes in your belt up accordingly so you don't get caught out. You have 12 slots, so use them wisely. When I set them up, I imagine myself mid-fight and in what order I'm going to chain my spells or consumables together. Practice your timings and combos with your spells and how long it takes for you to switch between the items in your hotbox and those in your belt. And number 3, know the area you're fighting in and your surroundings. Both the gloves and a core beyond have great tracking, as do the sprays, but in big open areas like fight clubs often are, these spells often let your opponent skip backwards a lot instead of becoming cornered. The gloves are a great way to force your opponent to either charge at you or skip sideways or backwards. A delayed Molotov first and then the gloves will force them to move away from you or into an area that you choose. And while their concentration is on the gloves, you're free to either unleash your teapot into the area they're going or a charged attack from your Ludwigs or your Kirkhammer. Similarly, gloves could force them to skip backwards or jump towards you. The Black Sky Eye is so fast that it'll catch them in either action if they move in a straight line. Aggressive players who like to attack or those that use the Hunter Bone will keep their distance, especially once you've used the Flame Spray or the teapot and it takes off half their health before they realize it. There are a number of great combos you should try, based on the time the spells take to hit your opponent or the distance they are from you. Just don't waste your bullets. Alright, let's take a look at some spell combos that you can perform during combat. In the first clip, we use the gloves and we go straight into the Core Beyond. Not only does he get caught by them, but he also gets caught twice by the Ogre Vebrietas. Our second clip, and we encounter a shield noob, who gets stunned by the gloves and then finished off by our Core Beyond. Our third clip sees us going up against the Pick. The bait and wait catches him with the eye. We catch him with a charge attack, but he begins to catch on, change weapon to the Rakuyo, and speeds up his attacks, so we need to mix things up too, eventually finishing him off with the gloves, which are no match for the Rakuyo. The spin attacks take up a lot of stamina and time, and he gets caught and killed. Our next clip, and we seem to have a missed opportunity against this beast over here. We could have ended the fight early. We steam in a combo attack and he's down to minimal health, but instead of using the Black Sky Eye, we let him get away by using the shotgun, letting him heal and forcing the fight into a melee at the end. A final clip, and this is a great example of close quarters combat with little stamina, so picking your shots is key here. We get him with the Arcane Blast, move forward, dodge a couple of times. However, the winning move is the backstep, which is coming up. After forcing him into where we want him to go, we vomit right over him. Dodge, there's the backstep and the vomit, and bitch slap for the kill. Right guys, well this brings us to the end of part 3. So, Just to recap, we covered playstyle and using everything at your disposal to mix things up. Learn the range of your weapons and tools, as well as your spacing. Learn the speed and timings, and put together a few spell combos of your own. Don't forget to force your opponent into the spaces you want them to go, and punish them accordingly. Linear escapes are easily punishable with a Black Sky Eye, the Tiny Tonitrus, and R1 spammers and Rakuyo users with the Executioner gloves. Read your opponent, anticipate when they run out of stamina or space. Prep your hotboxes and belt items so you don't waste time looking for the next thing to use. Identify your opponent's weaknesses based on the armor and the weapons that they're using. If you are thinking of making a PvP build, I recommend starting at level 120, with a minimum of 50 health to compensate for the 30% reduction when invading, and add the 10% and 15% health runes, the latter which can be found in the Chalice dungeons. Unless you're planning on making a glass cannon, or fighting at long range, you're gonna need the vitality for those toe-to-toe clutch moments. And remember, if you encounter a healer, stay patient. Bide your time, pick your shots, you'll get them eventually. The next episode in this series is going to be on hybrid builds and hybrid weapons, so be sure to stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more quality content, and we'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching.